वेलकम बैक टू स्पोर्ट्स वन। आप देख रहे थे स्पोर्ट्स वन का सेगमेंट राशिद लतीफ़ साहब के साथ। अब मैं चलूँगा बरतानिया के मोतबर सहाफ़ी हैं, हमारे साथ होंगे। वो जैसे ही ज्वाइन करते हैं मैं उनसे सवाल का सिलसिला शुरू करूँगा। निक हाउल्ट ने हमें ज्वाइन करना है और निक हाउल्ट का ताल्लुक़ डेली टेलीग्राफ से है। निक हाउल्ट एक सीनियर सहाफ़ी हैं बरतानिया के और बरतानिया की तरफ से मुख्तलिफ़ मुल्कों में बरतानवी टीम को कवर भी करते रहे हैं। उनसे मेरी ऑफ द कैमरा बात हुई थी तो उन्होंने भी ये कहा कि पाकिस्तान के साथ अच्छा नहीं किया। इंग्लैंड की टीम ने, इंग्लैंड के क्रिकेट बोर्ड ने, मेजरली इंग्लैंड क्रिकेट बोर्ड ने अच्छा नहीं किया। और ये भी आपको पता है कि इंग्लिश जो प्लेयर्स एसोसिएशन है उसने भी ये कहा है कि प्लेयर्स नहीं जाना चाहते थे। ये बात कतन गलत है, ये बात बिल्कुल गलत है। इंग्लैंड के क्रिकेट बोर्ड ने अगर ये कहा है कि प्लेयर्स की फटीक को नज़र में रखा और ये चीज़ें सारी चीज़ें नज़र में रखी, लेकिन ये रीज़न नहीं है इंग्लिश टीम का। तो खैर निक हाउल्ट विल टेल अस मोर अबाउट इट। निक, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस। हैव यू फिगर्ड आउट येट what was the actual reason for the ECB to turn down the tour of Pakistan at the last moment? How do you see this?
We're still not sure exactly why the Pakistan tour was cancelled. We've still not had any official word from the ECB apart from the statement that was handed out in the media when the decision was made. I suspect the unsaid reason is because of the Ashes tour. There is a lot of uncertainty around whether the England players will agree to go to Australia because of the quarantine conditions there, and I think they didn't want to complicate those discussions which will happen next week with also talking about the Pakistan tour and their fears over security. There's no question that if the New Zealand team had not received that threat, then England would be in Pakistan, they would be touring, but because of that threat that was directed at the New Zealand team, they felt they were unable to go, and I think it really spooked the players, and I think genuinely they were concerned about their security.
The players were concerned about their security. This is what Nick said, and Nick made a point that he himself is not clear yet. अभी तक Nick को भी इस चीज़ का अंदाज़ा नहीं है. Nick is one of those journalists who are renowned and who are seen as credible. तो निक हाउल्ट आपके सामने थे. मैं कुछ थोड़ा सा बता दूं कि उन्होंने ये कहा कि उनको भी नहीं पता कि क्या हुआ, लेकिन सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न वाज देयर, और अगर न्यूजीलैंड की टीम पर अटैक नहीं, थ्रेट न्यूजीलैंड की टीम को अगर नहीं मिलता तो शायद ये दौरा हो जाता. Nick, I read somewhere that the chief executive of the English Cricket Board had gone on leave prior to this whatever happened. And English Cricket Board is facing a lot of criticism from all the quarters, including the government has also distanced itself. So any chance that the ECB could be held accountable by the UK government?
The ECB are totally independent of the UK government. They make their decisions based on cricket and on their reasons only. They are not held accountable by the government apart from when it comes to how they spend their money and how they use public money in the administration of cricket. Tom Harrison, the chief executive of the ECB, was away on holiday when the decision was made, but I don't think we should read too much into that. I think he was still involved at a very high level in the discussions, and he would have mandated his staff to make the decision. And also this was a decision made by the ECB's executive board, led by the chairman Ian Watmore, not just taken by one man. So I wouldn't read too much into Tom Harrison being away last week when that decision was made. And the government have signalled their displeasure. We've seen the statement from the British High Commissioner in Pakistan. I think they were very disappointed with the ECB's decision. But ultimately, the ECB have to make the decision that they think is right for the team, the England players, and for English cricket. And I think in the end, they just felt that there was too much risk in going to Pakistan. Whether you agree with that decision or not, I think that's the whole reason that they made that call in the end.
ओके, निक ने दो बातें क्लियर की. एक तो ईसीबी के जो चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव का मैंने कहा अगर वो लीव पर थे भी तो भी इंग्लिश क्रिकेट के एक बोर्ड ने, पूरा एक बोर्ड है कि किसी एक बंदे का डिसीजन ये नहीं है. उन्होंने, और इंग्लिश क्रिकेट बोर्ड को गवर्नमेंट ऑफ यूके पूछ सकती है, लेकिन वो माली मामलात में पूछती है. اس میں انڈیپینڈنٹ ہے. انگلش کرکٹ بورڈ از ٹوٹلی انڈیپینڈنٹ آف دا UK گورنمنٹ, ان لائک Pakistan, unlike Afghanistan, unlike India, unlike so many other cricket boards. Let's move on, Nick. Let's move on to the possibility from the Pakistan Cricket Board going to the ICC Dispute Resolution Committee. What scope do you see if Pakistan goes to the ICC Dispute Resolution Committee?
I don't think the Pakistan Cricket Board really have any truck going to the ICC. I can't see that having any success. This was outside the Future Tours programme. These were, in effect, exhibition matches designed at showing that cricket was returning to Pakistan. So I don't think they'll have any real power to get the ICC involved. These are bilateral arrangements generally between boards. Look, where the Pakistan Cricket Board have got power is on allowing their players to play in England and touring England so regularly like they do. They're a very popular team in the UK. There's a lot of Pakistani cricket fans in the UK who love watching them play in England. They've visited England, I think, 6 times recently. So maybe they should perhaps think next time whether they need to come here and help the ECB out in their hour of need. Maybe one day the ECB will come back looking for Pakistan's help, and then it's up to them then whether they feel that they're in a position to do that after this understandable feeling sense of betrayal that they have.
निक साहब ने तो, मैं आपको बताऊं पाकिस्तानियों, निक ने तो आपकी उम्मीदों पर पानी तकरीबन फेर दिया है. वो तो कह रहे हैं कि ICC में इसका कोई स्कोप नहीं है. वन रीज़न उसका ये है कि ये बायलैटरल टूर था, ये दोनों मुल्कों के दरमियान बाहमी तौर पर तय किया गया था इसलिए. लेकिन मैं एक और चीज़ आपको याद कराऊं कि एक और बायलैटरल टूर था जो कि इंडिया और पाकिस्तान ने तय किया था आउट ऑफ द FTP, लेकिन उसमें पाकिस्तान को उस केस में नाकामी हुई. लेकिन इस केस में मैं समझता हूं कि कुछ तो चांस है, जो रमीज़ राजा साहब इतने एक्टिव हैं और इतने ज़्यादा एग्रेसिव हैं, PCB के नए चेयरमैन. खैर चलें. निक, माय लास्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू, डू यू स्मेल एनी कंट्रोवर्सी समवेयर because of the IPL, Indian Premier League, because a lot of English players play there. So, is there any controversy so that the ECB or the English player were reluctant toward Pakistan?
Oh, look, the IPL has changed everything. But England could easily have found a team that didn't feature any IPL players. There were plenty of white ball cricketers in England who could have gone on that tour that weren't playing in the IPL. So I'm not so sure the IPL had a massive role to play. I think that the main reason that the players didn't tour Pakistan was just because the threat against the New Zealand team, and I think that decision by New Zealand was the crucial reason. Some of the England players have been in touch with players in the New Zealand team. They've spoken to them about that experience. They've told them that it was a very scary experience to be locked in the hotel rooms and told that there was a terrorist threat issued against them. And I think that probably made a lot of England players' minds up that if the tour was going to go ahead, quite a lot of them wouldn't go because they wouldn't want to put themselves in that position. And it's very hard to find anyone who represents players in England to say that the wrong decision was made. I think that they just feel that the way they made the decision was perhaps wrong rather than the end result in itself. There's no doubt that it's been a very difficult week for the ECB. I think some people at the ECB, this was the last thing they wanted. They wanted to support cricket in Pakistan. They wanted to get the England cricket team there, and they wanted these matches to go ahead. And I think there are some people who are very, very disappointed that the tour has not gone ahead. But like I said, if it had not been for that threat against the New Zealand team, I'm pretty sure that England would be there. I think that changed everything, and I think the proximity of the Ashes tour and the proximity of the England tour to the New Zealand tour as well was the issue too, because this had to be a very, very quick decision. If there'd been a few months, a little bit more time for things to calm down and everyone to take a breath, it probably would have gone ahead as well. But I think also the fact that they had to make a decision in a few days did not help as well.
Thank you very much, Nick, for your time. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you some other time. Thank you. तो ये थे निक हाउल्ट, जिस मौजू पे, जिस पॉइंट पर इनसे बात का आगाज़ हुआ था, उसी पर इन्होंने इख्तिताम भी किया. और इन्होंने कहा कि इंग्लिश क्रिकेट बोर्ड को टाइम कम मिला रिएक्ट करने का. अगर टाइम ज़्यादा होता न्यूजीलैंड के जाने और इंग्लैंड के आने में, تو شاید صورتحال مختلف ہوتی. انگلش کرکٹ بورڈ میں لوگ چاہتے ہیں کہ پاکستان کی مدد کی جائے کیونکہ پاکستان بارہا دورہ کر چکا ہے انگلینڈ کا, اور آخری دورے پر تو پاکستان نے انگلینڈ کی مدد کی تھی. بہت عرصے کے بعد کووڈ کی سچویشن سے نکلے تھے انگلینڈ میں اور میچز ہوئے تھے. پاکستان کے کھلاڑیوں نے کووڈ کی سختیاں بھی برداشت کی. کنٹروورسی, نک سیٹ دیر از نو کنٹروورسی. انگلینڈ میں اتنے پلیئرز تھے کہ وہ آ سکتے تھے. آئی پی ایل جانے والے پلیئرز کے علاوہ بھی انگلش ٹیم میں اتنی سکت ہے کہ وہ جا سکتے تھے. خیر یہ تھے نیک ہاؤلٹ ون پرسیپشن. میں آپ کے سامنے لے کر آیا کہ انگلش پرسیپشن کیا ہے. تو آج کے پروگرام میں بس اتنا ہی. مجھے اجازت دیجیے. خدا حافظ.